Here we go. Oh, I did not plan this well. I forgot to get something to drink. Oh well. Good morning, campers! Welcome back to Train Simulator 2015. Live streaming this one today. And today, hopefully the audio balance is a little bit better. I don't know if there's anyone watching to tell me. So if, in that case, well, I'll figure that out later. So for this run on freight-only trackage disable... Oh. Alright. Missed that. Missed that. Is there a way to get those messages back? Oh, I can read them on the live stream when those come up. Let's jump into the cab here. Control D. Beware of and obey cabin line-side signal indicators. Throughout this run, you'll be responsible for handling your own manual switches. Excellent. Control D. Aha! Alright, I know what I'm doing. So sorry, since I'm live streaming, the frame rate might get a little iffy. So I need to stop at Oak Point, Main 3 West. Let's go ahead and jump to the overhead show task. That is where we need to get to. And where are we? Up on the bridge. So let's go ahead and move forward. We have the green signal to go ahead. Let's get the brake turned off. Okay, so today we are in the CSX GenSet. This is a pretty new locomotive. I just picked it up a short time ago. This is a lovely, lovely locomotive. It's very, very quiet. Ooh, no, I don't want to go backwards. Don't want to go backwards. Come on. There we go. Not the most powerful locomotive, apparently. Come on, you can do it. These are some of this railroad's newest locomotives. They actually do operate in this location on the real-life railroad. The real-life Oak Point Yard has a pair of these things that are dedicated solely to them. I should find my cab signals while I'm in here. Cab signal, cab... Ah, there they are. Perfect spot for those, I think. So the frame rate could definitely be better, but for Train Simulator, this is still pretty decent. Let's bring it up to full throttle. We don't have too far to go for our next stop. And I've got my finger on the alerter key. Let's take a look at our cargo here. It looks like mostly mixed freight. How do I just... left and right? Left and right? No. This one? Aha, there we go. Alright, let's just kind of scroll back. Looks like a couple of hoppers, a few oil tankers, boxcars, a couple of empty half hoppers, and a couple more boxcars. So yeah, just mixed freight from Fresh Pond Yard in Queens. We're heading to Oak Point Yard in Harlem. And we'll also be doing a drop-off at Hunts Point, which is just around the corner from Oak Point. Hunts Point is a large kind of open-air farmers market sort of area. Though we are on Amtrak. Well, we're right next to the Amtrak trackage for now, so hopefully we'll see an Amtrak or two before we get to our destination. Oh, speak of the devil. Beautiful timing. Oh, the frame rate's going completely away. So ignore the weird texture issues there. Once the locomotive's off the screen, it should be a little bit better. Okay, so maybe I don't want to hit that much traffic today. Just look down here and let the frame rate recover. Yeah, it's a little bit better. So this scenario should take less than an hour. I'm going to live stream the entire thing just so you can understand how much I have to edit out when I do these videos normally. You can see some of the outer parts of New York City here while we go. As you can see, the GenSet, not a super fast locomotive. It's, I think they mostly just use it for switching and local transfers in and around this area. I mean, we got barely any train at all, and we're still struggling to get over this bridge. But they're extremely efficient fuel-wise, and very, very clean compared to other locomotives that exist out there. It's several generators instead of one big one. I don't know very much about them, honestly. I know CSX is very, very proud of them, and apparently they're quite environmentally friendly. Part of the reason they rolled them out in New York City is because they're better for the environment than the it's such a highly populated area that they didn't like using the typical diesel locomotives in that vicinity. Line signal still looking good. Wouldn't be surprised if we see another CSX go by before we get across this bridge. Ooh, something's loading in. And off to our left is the main part of the city. Let's jump over there real quick. Can't see too many of the big buildings from here. Further back along this bridge is the tunnels down into Penn Station are over there. But off to our left here, way over there, are the elevated tracks that go into Grand Central Terminal, which is the line that we ran in a previous video with the P42. The P42 that was dual power, electric and diesel. P32, sorry, P32 Genesis. P42 is the all-diesel one. P32 is the P32 ACDM ACDC shoot to kill. Aim to thrill. Anyway. Alright, got yellow here. Verified? Verified. Glad to see that the signals are at least colored, so you don't have to know exactly what the tilts each mean. Because I don't. I assume straight up and down is green, and 45-degree angle is yellow. At least I hope that's the case. I have to hit the alerter twice, it feels like. Where's the alerter button in the cab? I don't see one. Oh, we're being passed by another Amtrak. What is that? Horn. Sander. Bell? Bell. So where's the alerter button? Is it on the thing behind us somewhere? Really have no idea. I'll figure that out later. Let's see what we can play with in the cab here. Oh, we're up to 40 miles an hour. Oh my goodness. Brakes, 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 brakes. This train is not meant for this speed. Alright, we'll figure out what we... Ooh. Water treatment plant. We'll figure out what we can do with the toys in the cab later. Eh, it was potentially very, very bad for everyone. Is this really going to be... Oh boy. Alright, so I don't think this locomotive has the Soldier Summit brakes. So this should behave more like one of the... Oh, we're going to need to stop in half a mile. This should behave more like the trains that I'm used to. Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware I need to stop. Thank you. Something else loading in. And there's Harlem Yard down there on our left. Some lovely baseball diamonds. And that would be Oak Point Yard up ahead on the right. So I guess we're on the Hell's Gate Bridge. I'm not sure though. And hopefully our brake reservoir will be able to refill enough to stop us when we get to get up to the next signal. This should be mostly a switching scenario, if I was reading it correctly, because I think we're just dropping off these cars at Oak Point and then moving into moving a few other cars into Hunts Point. So there should be lots to do, very little air to fill. Hopefully this will be well suited for live stream. You can tell this is freight track because it doesn't have the overhead wires. As, CSX does not use electric locomotives on this route, even though the line is mostly electrified. All the passenger locomotives are electric. This is one of our previous adventures on this map. We were on this line down here when we were moving, I think, a garbage train between Harlem Yard and Oak Point Yard. Alright, we're just going to coast the rest of the way to this signal at about 15 miles an hour. Someone's watching. I don't know who. I'm watching. I'm watching. So we're getting... This is one of the denser scenery bits on the on this route. And there's so much you can do just centered around Oak Point Yard. As you've seen, this is the second or third scenario I've gotten out of this part of the map. As far as videos go, I didn't make any of these scenarios. I'm not skilled at that. I didn't make any of these scenarios. I just did the videos. All these scenarios I've been running have been made by Alphaba, who you should... there's links in the description underneath this video if you want to check out the scenario. You should definitely go and subscribe to Alphaba if you have the game, because he posts every route that you could possibly get for this game. He's got scenarios. Whoa, something's shaking like crazy in here. That workshop has scenarios for it. A lot of times they have scenarios up for routes before the routes are even out, because they're very good friends with the Dovetail developers. Alright, I need to ratchet up the brakes here, because we need to stop. Yes, I believe that is a stop signal, or it is a proceed with caution signal. Not sure which. But we need to stop here anyway, so let's just wait for this to tick down. Take a look at the scenery while it does. Lots of trucks. That should be the paper mill behind us and to the right. Or a newspaper printing plant, I think. And then this is Oak Point Yard down here on the right. Okay. We are at Oak Point, Main 3 West, inbound from Fresh Pond. Oh, that was apparently supposed to be my character. Okay. Well, it's good that I read that out loud. Go via Oak Point Yard, 6:15 lead. Let's make sure we've got Bring your fresh pond transfer into Oak Point Yard 9 and drop the consist there. Sounds like a plan. Yard 615 lead. Where's 9? This is 9. So we'll need that. Looks good. Let's do that. Alright, couple to these on 7. We'll do that. We'll worry about... Oh, wrong button. Right, let's get the brakes turned off. And roll down into the yard here. Gonna do some actual logic-y stuff today, it looks like. This is the part of Train Simulator where you have to do some thinking. Maybe. We'll see. Don't want to go over 15 miles an hour because we're going to be entering the yard here. So be nice and slow on this one. I'm not going to do this in a hurry. I am definitely not going to hurry. I've got all the time in the world. And you're all stuck here for the duration. Sorry. Those are blue. What does blue mean? None of the signals in my cab even lean that way. Oh, I guess that one does. I guess that means I'm getting switched off this line. Right, because I'm getting switched into the yard. That's probably what that means then. Yes, yes, I'm aware. I have to hit the alerter twice for some reason, every time it goes off. Not really a problem, but just a little bit strange. Now that I've figured that out. Surprised those aren't moving. I thought they were moving before when I came through here. Ah, I'll worry about that later. I'm already seeing traffic in the yard. Good to see they filled the yard up before we came in. I've seen many a scenario where you pull through a yard and there's just nothing there, and that's never fun. You want to see at least empty cars lying around. It's like at all the real rail yards around the world. At least the ones that are still in use. There's a lot of abandoned rail yards where I live. Most of them, the tracks have been pulled up, but there's still areas where the tracks used to be. You can kind of tell, especially up around Richmond. Yes, thank you, alerter. I'm aware. At the very least, I have the audio and video synced up, so I almost broke that, but I did not. And this is where we'll be turning off, because my capture card did not want to play along at first when I started setting this stream up. But luckily, I did the syncing by delaying. I had to do the sync by delaying the audio, so it actually kept that setting when the capture card decided to cooperate once again. It seems a little backwards to be using a capture card to capture PC game on the PC that is playing the game. And it is, but I would definitely be better off using a separate computer to do the capturing. But it does offload a little bit of the work onto the capture card, and like this game would be unplayably bad frame rates if we were not using the capture card right now. And it's pretty close to that already. It's definitely very, very stuttery. But this is just kind of the Train Simulator experience, is low frame rates. I keep hoping they'll optimize it better in the next version, and it just always gets buggier and buggier. So enjoy this while it lasts. If Train Simulator 2016 doesn't work on my computer, this series will be ending very soon. We will see. That is, I think, 2 weeks away. Alright, I'm going going to have to stop soon. Alright, the rear of my train has entered the siding. Let's throw on the brakes. And am I leaving everything here? Drop off. Yes! And then we're going to pick up at 7. So let's actually go ahead and investigate what we're picking up on 7. I assume we want to couple to the front of that, so we'll need that. And pull ahead alongside these two locomotives. Alright. Whoops, wrong button. Let's just go ahead and look at the other end of the train. And that's where we want to decouple. Transfer cut is coupled, clear. I apparently have a brakeman, and he said that. Oh. Well. Missed that message. Hopefully he was just telling me things I already knew. Like pull up beside the other locomotive, then reverse onto the, pick up the other cars. There's our lovely GenSets. This is just a gorgeous little locomotive. I mean, it looks a little funny because it's got a very low drive section compared to the ones I'm used to, but it's kind of neat. It reminds me more of a switcher than the typical CSX locomotive. I'm not used to seeing CSX switchers, that's for sure. It's mostly the big Dash 7s and SD40s that go rolling through my area. Speaking of SD40, that's a couple of the SD40s on the right here. These are the ones that come with the Northeast Corridor route. Though it doesn't come with any scenarios by default. Let's actually throw on the cab brake. Alright, we're going to need to jump outside and jump to the next car. For this one, let's get to the overhead and switch ourselves onto track 7, which is this one. And this one. Yes? Yes. Okay, so we're going to pick those up and then stop at Oak Point Yard, lead east. Where's that? That is on our way out, and we will need... Ah, there we go. Making sure our path is set to exit the yard before we get there. Whoops, no, I need to go outside, rear of the train, throw it into reverse, brakes off, locomotive brake off as well. We need to pick up these red cars here. And we're going to pull them up to Hunts Point, I believe. I've got no cars. Why is this struggling so hard? Here we go. Alright, now we're moving again. Actually, you know what? I just realized we haven't heard the horn yet for this thing, so let's see what that sounds like. I like that horn. That's a good horn. It's different, which is wholly unexpected in this game. We're going to actually want to... Yeah, probably be on... I need to slow down a lot. Alright, that looks good. Let's couple at about 5 miles an hour. Or 3. That works. Yeah, 3 sounds better than 5, actually. Okay, so something kind of neat I just noticed. Depending on what the throttle is set at, the smokestacks cover themselves. So it's actively turning on different generators depending on how much power you need. Like when we were cruising up on the bridge, it was at all of the generators were on, all the smokestacks were open, and now we're going nice and slow. It's only one. And a moment ago, when we were moving between these areas, there was 2 open, so that's kind of neat. Let's slow down a tad. Brakes off. Couple nice and slow. Couple nice and slow. Couple, darn you. Do we have it? I think we've got it. There we go. Alright, brakes. Coupled on and clear. Let's jump back into the cab. Throw it into forward. I'm not going to clear that message because last time I missed something because I did that. Alright. We need to couple it at Oak Point Yard 8. 3 refrigerator cars on Oak Point Yard 8. Alright, well, let's clear that. Which one is Yard 8? That would be between 7 and 9. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Alright, so we just need to pull forward. And let's get the brakes turned off and get moving. So we're just going to pick up these blue refrigerator cars. We just have to clear. We have to get these reds out of the siding first. I'm so sorry to the one person that's watching this. But that's okay. People seem to like train simulator videos, so hopefully this one will be more popular on the replays. Oops. Helps if I actually click in the window in order to control the train. Oh, they've even got a different bell. That's interesting. Hear more of that in a moment. Alright, we're pretty much clear of that switch. Let's throw the brakes on. Get the camera below the bridge. And can I just throw that switch from here? Aha! Success. Reverse. Brakes off. Power on. I don't need no overhead view. Ah! I keep accidentally putting the camera in the bridge. So I like the look of this part of the yard over here. I'd love to do some activities over there. It looks like maybe some container unloading. Loading and unloading. A lot of warehouses. A whole lot of warehouses. Drink the Big Apple. New York apple juice. Makes sense? Because I see container stacks in the distance there, but I don't see any low container cars. Going a little fast here. That's better. Coupled and clear. Alright, stop Oak Point Yard, lead east. So that will just be forward of our current position. We've already set the switches. And this game is not evil enough to have reset them while I wasn't looking. So let's just go ahead and pull forward to there. I'm sorry, I just accidentally bumped the microphone there. What do these switches do? That one is engine run. This one's wipers, cab lights, gauge lights. Ooh, this is gauge lights. Very nice. Headlights, ditch lights. Separate ditch lights. That's interesting. Power and throttle. This is the reverser. That's the ditch lights again. Do I hear another engine? Oh, is that guy moving? No, he's not moving. I think he's on, though. I don't think that's just a silent cab. It looks like there's an Amtrak coming, though. Ah, yes there is. So still seeing some passenger traffic over on the left here. I love Elphaba's scenarios for all the traffic that he puts in. Especially when we were, I was just looking at our previous mission that we did at this area, where we were moving cargo between the two different yards. It was just so much... Wait, yard... Oh, crap. I'm supposed to stop right now. Did I do that successfully? I did. I was looking at this spot, but it's the previous one we did. There was so much AI traffic going overhead. It was really nice. So let's take a look out here again. Oak Point, Main 4 East, Hunts Point, Yard, Main 4. Main 4 East. That's right there. Okay. We have our cuts for Hunts Point and are at the east lead. Makes sense. And you are cleared, subject to signal speed restrictions, to proceed to Hunts Point, Main 4, and then reverse into Hunts Point for your switching movements. Specified in the task list. Contact me when you're done with your work at Hunts Point. Alright, so we need to move up to Hunts Main 4, and then we'll reverse into Hunts Point. And we are clear there. Let's get the brakes off. Engine moving. Here's our power. How do we know how many generators are moving? What's that? Airflow indicator. Airflow? To the brakes, I assume? I don't know. Controller operation. Reverser forward, neutral, reverse, reverser handle in, throttle stop or idle. Throttle stop through 8, reverser handle in, reverser any position. Trailing unit setup, throttle idle, reverser handle removed. Alright. We are proceeding cautiously up to Hunts Point. We keep it about 15 here, I think. Hoping to see some more AI traffic as we do this movement. With any luck, our stop there triggered something to move through. So now that we're half underground, the frame rate's wonderful. So yeah, I assume this is some sort of caution. So I'm going to keep it nice and slow. Again, I am in no hurry. Ooh, Burger King. Or McDonald's. Or Wendy's, possibly. They clone many fast food franchises in this game. It could be a Burger Shot. I'm going to go with Burger Shot. Whoops. Oh, I'm still below 16. It's just... this lies. Oh, neat. You can actually see fan blades in there. They're not moving, but they're there. That's a lovely detail. A little bit of authenticity to the cab fan. Oh, I've turned my chair such that you cannot see the random gaming things behind me that give me the credit to be live streaming. Obviously, you can't live stream without gaming paraphernalia behind you, such as the severed head of the Master Chief. It's very important when you're live streaming Train Simulator that everyone knows you play Halo. Or at least played Halo when Halo 3 came out. Okay. I thought those were levitating for a moment, but no, the wires are, in fact, there. We're still under caution, right? Yeah. So I don't want to throw this into high gear yet. Also, I'm pretty sure I figured out why the audio balance was off so badly last week. I tried just boosting my microphone, but that sounded terrible because the microphone was peaking out all the time. And then I found there was a separate volume setting for my capture card versus the one that I thought was controlling it, which was the game volume slider, which apparently only relates to when you're using XSplit to capture from DirectX. So, yeah, got that figured out. The volume slider I needed was from right-clicking on the feed from my capture card. So hopefully everything sounds better this time. I'll find out when I go back and watch this video later. We'll figure it out. Eventually I will have my streaming set up so that I don't have to change my settings when I'm doing regular recordings. Eventually. Not that streaming is particularly advantageous over normal recording, but hey, I find it fun. Alright, we are cautioned through the next area as well. That should be the lead into Hunts Point. And this is a train movement you can actually go out and watch happen if you live in New York City. Hunts Point is open to the public, I believe. Though the railroad staff will come in and clear the roads before the train moves in the cars. Alright, once we are clear of this, I will go to stop. Yeah, so anywhere in that stop area should do the trick. Let's go ahead and throw the brakes on. Alright, just waiting to get cleared. Let's go ahead and throw the reverser into neutral in preparation to back up. Oh, there comes an Amtrak. Beautiful timing! That is fantastic. Probably was not... And they had to assume that you would actually move quicker through here, but clear to begin reverse movement into Hunts Point. I actually want to double check on that. Make sure that switched. Yes, we need to drop off on Avenue E, Track 1B. Avenue E, Track 1B. A through C lead. E lead. E1B, I think that is 1B. That looks right. Alright, so I need to go on to this one. I think. Make sure I'm cleared all the way down there. Yes, that looks right to me. Then we'll be dropping off on Hunts Point Yard 10, which is down here. Let's go ahead and put that route in. That's correct. That's correct. 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 That. Yes, so all I will need to change is that one. Perfect. Alright, let's begin this reverse movement. Full reverse, brakes off. And let's back it in. I should be limited to 15, 20. Alright, makes sense. See, I do enjoy switching scenarios, especially this one. This is the first time I've played this one, but I've read up on this one. I did a little bit of homework for this one. Before this scenario existed, actually, I was reading on this one because I tried to actually make this one myself. It did not go well. So this one, kind of cool. I like having to set the switches manually. That's not something that happens often enough, it feels like, in this game. This is a great little scenario for doing a drop-off, 2 pickups, and then 2 more drop-offs in different locations. Having to set everything along the way. I think I got bitten by a mosquito over the course of this live stream. It's very annoying. I curse the swamp I live in. Let's actually run the camera up ahead real quick, just to show where the average viewer would be watching this from. So this is where a lot of videos of this seem to come from. And we are on quite the downhill here. There we are. I've seen several videos from people standing on this road watching this train go by. So this is pretty neat to see it recreated in the game. And this is where we'll be ending the scenario, on this siding here. But there's lots and lots of foot traffic and automobile traffic down here, so we're going to keep the bell on for pretty much the rest of the scenario. As you'll see when we get into Hunt's Point, that pretty much the entire track is up against these warehouses where trucks are constantly loading and unloading. So it's like just one long railroad crossing, effectively. You're on a road. The rails are just like in the pavement where trucks are normally doing drop-offs and pickups at these warehouses. It's very cool, the way this whole thing is designed. This is where an extremely large amount of the food that comes into New York City goes through. Ease it around the corner here. $10 miles an hour actually feels plenty fast for these movements. These boxcars almost look too long to take this turn safely. That looks really sharp. I would be very, very nervous about bringing any train cars into this area. This looks extreme. This is probably extremely crowded with pedestrians on a normal day. But luckily, Train Simulator doesn't have pedestrians, so... Well, I mean, it's got people at the stations, which is, you know, better than nothing. As you can see, lots of 18-wheelers, or tractor-trailers, or lorries, or whatever you want to call them today, parked alongside. But yeah, you can see down this row here that all these trains are parked with their... all these trucks are parked, their backs up to the warehouse building, for loading and unloading, and that's the same thing. The area over here is designed for the same thing. It's just they park over the railroad tracks when they're loading and unloading from the warehouses, so they have to come in and clear the trucks out of the way before the trains come in. Did I set this right? Yes, I did. Alright. Just making sure I didn't accidentally skip it. But it's the next one over, not this one. He actually put some train cars on this one. Very nice. Let's bring our speed back up a little bit here. We're kind of dropped down to about 7 miles an hour. Stay on the alerter so my brakes don't turn on, because that would be awkward. Suddenly slamming on the emergency brakes, all the food in these trucks would fall out, and it would just be a big mess. Big mess. I don't want to have to clean it up. So we're going to just ease this train back in here. Ah, here's our siding. Yeah, as you can see, the only way to get to this parking lot is to drive through the rail yard, effectively. You'd have to cross half the yard tracks to get here. Oh, it's not, at the actual Hunts Point, these tracks are basically covered up by pavement, with just the rails poking through, more like this area, just all the way down. I guess we can turn the bell off now. Let's just double check and see what we're dropping off here. The 3 refrigerator cars. Alright. So that will be move 1 forward. No, 1 forward. 1 forward. 1 forward. This will be the new rear of our train once we have parked these appropriately. I wonder if you could just use trucks to do this. The way they've got the setup. Actually, I don't know how much I don't know how well an 18-wheeler would be able to pull one of these things. Maybe one would be no problem, but more than one, certainly not very fast. Alright, just pulling in. I want to make sure we got all 3 of the refrigerator cars into this part of the siding before we slam on the brakes. Once we're clear of that switch, I will do so. There we go. Looks good to me. And I'm going to make sure I'm looking at the correct end of the train. Yeah, that's the locomotive, so it'll be the last 3 cars here. Reefers are uncoupled to clear. Alright, let's pull back out of this siding. Make sure we're not bringing the reefers with us. No, we're not. Okay, refrigerated boxcars. Stay here. Ah, I get that now. Reefer, refrigerated. Makes sense. Back in the cab for a moment. We've already got the switches all set up to get us into Hunts Point 10 once we're back out onto the lead here. I've got 2 people watching now. I'm very impressed. People like Train Simulator. Careful not to speed. Whoops, I accidentally turned the windshield wipers on there. I don't hear the bell. Oh, you can hear it outside, but not inside. That's interesting. I don't think I can recall any other train where that is the case. And just wait for this car to be clear of the siding. We can reverse it. And we're almost finished with this. Let's bring up the F1 menu. See what else we've got. So drop off the covered hoppers at Hunts Point 10 and then stop at Edgewater Avenue. No problem. No problem at all. Almost finished the scenario. How long have I been live streaming? No idea. Oh wait, I can see at the top. 50 minutes already, so a little bit over time for what the estimated completion time is. But I've been going a little slow with some of my movements here. I think I'm doing only about 10 miles an hour through this yard, but I could be doing 15. Brakes on. Let's go ahead and just manually throw this one. Double check that that sets us up to get into Oak Point 10. And it does not, because that was the wrong switch, that one. Hunt Point 10, not Oak Point. That looks right. Reverse. Brakes off. I'm really glad I double checked that now. That would have been awkward. I've covered up poor Master Chief again. I'm sorry, buddy. He's very disappointed in me. I haven't shot anyone yet today. Moving right along at a good clip here, back up to 10 miles an hour already. Just have to back these into Hunts Point 10, and we are done-ish. I still have to park the locomotives, but that's going to be pretty quick, I suspect. So this is a lovely little switching scenario. I definitely recommend it. Again, Elphaba is certainly the best scenario maker out there for Train Simulator 2015. They've got stuff for pretty much every single DLC release. Usually before the DLC is out, because they get early access to it through Dovetail Games. This is a bit of DLC for the... this only requires the Northeast Corridor New York to New Haven route, which comes with Train Simulator 2015, and it requires the GenSet locomotives, which are what we're using up at the front here. There's a lovely little bit of CSX DLC that was designed for this route, so you definitely don't want to grab that if you don't have this one. I don't understand why you would. They come with a couple of default scenarios for this route, but really you should be running the Elphaba stuff, because they're much more fun. Much more involved. Not much longer. This one should only take you about 45 minutes to complete. Took me, 55 because I'm slow. But average player, average decent player, 45 minutes, give or take. Lots of good AI traffic, lots of good switching to do, and definitely lots of well-designed prompts and messages. I just keep accidentally missing them. No big deal. Luckily, the advantage of live streaming this is I've been able to just look over at the live stream and see any messages that I missed, which is good because the first message in this scenario teaches you how to turn off part of your alerter. Apparently not the part that keeps going off though. Alright, almost to our stopping point. I'm almost tempted to uncouple the cars and just let them coast back here, but I think that would give me a failure. So we'll just jump up to the front here. Once all the cars are onto the straight portion, I will stop. That looks good to me. Yes, there we go. Alright, let's throw the brakes on. Bring up the coupling interface. Start throwing the handbrakes on the cars. Let's do the back 3 and the front 2. Whoops. Oh, that's the locomotive. Alright, so let's just do the front 2, back 2. Alright. Throw it into forward. Decouple. Brakes off. Uncoupled and clear. We've made our drops at Hunt Point. That would be the engineer of our GenSets here. Did I just accidentally pick all those cars back up again? I did. Whoops. It'll be a while before I can clear you back to the yard, so you might as well take a break for beans. Tie down your power at Hunts Point, Edgewater Avenue. I'll have a crew van pick you up. Excellent. So when I let off the brake, the locomotive rolled back into the cars and picked them up again. So hopefully that will not give me an automatic failure for this scenario. The cars are right where we left them. And I just want to make sure that Edgewater Avenue is right up here. Yeah, it's just this little siding over here, so I know where that is. Don't need to use the overhead menu anymore. So that's pretty much this mission done. We're just going to pull back out. And park the locomotives up. Let's get another good look at the outside, because these things are lovely. Ah, yeah, there you can see two generators on in each locomotive. And the smoke plumes are reflective of that. There's no smoke coming out of the smokestack that's closed, because that generator is not necessary yet. So very cool little locomotive. Not as powerful as... Oops, I'm speeding. Please don't derail. That would be an awkward end of the stream. But probably one that would be popular on YouTube. We're still speeding. Nah, we're fine. Not going to hurt anyone. And definitely not as powerful a locomotive as the SD40-2s that come with the route, but it's a fun little locomotive to have. There's other Elphaba scenarios for, I think, Miami to West Palm Beach using these locomotives. A couple others on the Northeast Corridor. I think some of the others might require some of the other Amtrak and CSX locomotives, but I'm not sure. This one you only need the GenSets and the Northeast Corridor route. Not Northeast Corridor. New York to New Haven Northeast Corridor route in order to do so. No extra DLC, as you noticed. All the Amtraks are being pulled by the default electric locomotive, so nothing to worry about there. No hidden DLCs that you need for this one. I love that horn. That's a good horn. Now we're back down to one generator because I've got the throttle at idle. And back out on the main road. I like the stoplights. Though they've done the stoplights, they did the GTA thing where the stoplights are on the side of the intersection facing facing inwards instead of facing the opposite side. It's like around here, the stoplights on this branch would be pointing back this way so that the cars here could see across the intersection and see their stoplights. I don't know if maybe that's just different everywhere else in the world, or if that's just something video games constantly get wrong. But it's weird to me. Like, why would you... Because if you pull up to the white line and stop there, you can't see the stoplight because it's above your head. Euro Truck Simulator does that too. It drives me nuts because I use the cockpit view and you get up to the stoplight and you can't see the stupid thing. Oh, I missed a alerter signal and the emergency brakes went off. But that's the siding where we need to stop, so we're almost here. Just ignore the emergency brakes. No big deal. Just wasn't paying attention and the dead man switch got me there. I don't know what these are piles of, but it does not look appetizing. I don't know if that's just like junk scrap metal or some sort of sludge. Kind of looks like it might be kind of looks like taco meat, actually. Very strange taco meat, but taco meat nonetheless. Alright, brakes on. Using the cab brake, not the air brakes. No reason to use the air brakes here. lowest throttle setting, so we should only be using one generator to get moving here. Wow, single generator, not good at getting this thing moving. Let's bring on the second one. Pick up another notch on the throttle. Still only 2 generators, but we're actually moving now, so we can cut it back to 1 generator once again. That should close the middle pipe here. Maybe. Yeah, there it goes. So a single generator is not bad for keeping the thing moving, but it's not good for getting you moving in the first place. Alright, let's stop before we hit the buffers at the end of the line here. Last thing I want to do is derail this. I made plenty of other mistakes already. And I think that's going to do it. There we go. Yeah, this looks like scrap metal here. That should be the end of the scenario, which means it's probably the end of this live stream. I am going to play an ad once I see that this has caught up. I know the 2 people watching, 3 people watching. Oh, that's impressive. We're probably not going to stick around for that, but I would appreciate it. Do appreciate the couple people that tuned in, and I hope the people who watch this later will enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. There is a link in the cards to the playlist for other train simulator scenarios with all the boring parts edited out. Well, the most boring parts edited out. Most of the videos are boring, but, you know, train simulator. So, have a great day. Hopefully that crew van will pull up shortly. For now, take a break. Scenario complete. Oh, feedback. That was a thumbs up for sure. Use emergency brakes twice. Whoops. Whoops. Well, that was successful. I actually had quite a few people watching. I am proud of that live stream. So the people that are watching after the fact can still hear this, but the oh, I should actually, you know what I should do? I should for the sake of making this easier on myself later, bring that up. Transition, there it goes. Okay, that's cool. Hey, I don't usually get to talk over this part. This is kind of neat. I have all these muted. Yeah, and yeah. Okay, good. So these are short video clips from a few of the other games I've played. I hope you'll take a look at the playlist that will be linked if you're watching this after the fact. If you're watching this live, well, I don't know why you're still watching. But, yeah, enjoy. And I hope you actually take a look at some of the other videos I do. I do this for fun. I don't get enough views to make this profitable. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. And also find me on Twitter at AzerAngel17. Have a great day.